This week's episode is brought to you by Crown Haven Wealth Advisors, your retirement reimagined. Coming up today on RetireSHIELD TV.
I've yet to meet somebody at a very basic level that wants to wake up tomorrow morning and have less money than they have today. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to pay somebody a fee so that can happen. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to pay the government more in taxes than they're legally and ethically required to. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to leave their money to the government when they pass away. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to worry about their family's standard of living while the family is worried about their standard of care. So our RetireSHIELD was built to handle secure income, investment management, advanced tax planning, healthcare planning, legacy and estate planning, to systematically address all these things so that all those worries that I just listed off.
Knowing people and building trust. Get on the right path to achieve your retirement goals with Casey Marx and the team at Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Understand the process and challenges of retirement planning. Discover the keys to a successful retirement.
Hello and welcome to RetireSHIELD TV. I'm consumer advocate Morgan Patrick, and as always, I am joined by the founder and CEO of Crown Haven Wealth Advisors and creator of RetireSHIELD Process, Casey Marx. Casey is not only the author of Baby Boomer Retirement Bootcamp, he is also a retirement income certified professional as well as a certified financial fiduciary. It is so good to see you, Casey.
It's good to see you too, Morgan.
Okay, so Casey, based on a lot of our previous conversations, it sounds like a lot of advisors that are out there are, they're playing a guessing game with their clients, retirement, and again, it's a very important part of everybody's life, but if this guessing game is being played, that's a problem.
It is a problem, and one of the things that I love most about my job is that I don't have to guess about the outcome for my clients. When a client calls me at my office and they ask me, am I going to be okay? I can tell them with 100% confidence that you are going to be okay. And that is irrespective of whether or not COVID is happening, there is a bank crisis happening, war is going on, monetary policy is changing, something in their life is occurring. We've built it to break on paper so that it doesn't break in real life. And that's a wonderful feeling to have in an advisory role. And it comes from where I come from. And the reason we do it that way, quite frankly, is because this stage of life is so darn important. I mean, our first core value is to act with integrity, and to respect the very unique position we have to impact people's lives. And that's not hyperbole. That's not me just saying it to say it. The last conversation that I had with my father before he passed away was, and I'll give you the abridged version, but he said basically, Casey, you're born with integrity and only you can take it away from yourself. So we are operating in an incredibly powerful position where folks are entrusting us with their life savings, and they have spent their entire life accumulating that, spending hours and hours and hours of time and energy making sacrifices to get where they're at. And the fact of the matter is that nobody, including the major investors on Wall Street, including your local advisor down the street, including myself, nobody has a crystal ball. And nobody knows what's going to happen tomorrow. We can have our best guesses. But then the question becomes, knowing that human beings are fundamentally flawed, we act emotionally, we have a unique ineptitude at predicting future results, and that a lot of people that work in our space are incentivized based on their own financial concerns rather than acting in your best interest. Do you want to put your life savings at risk to somebody else's best guess or the best guess of your own? As an advisor, I want to use tools that provide my clients certainty, because what that does for them is it gives them confidence. Likewise, what it does for me is it gives me confidence. And I know that I can look people in the eye and go, you're going to be all right. And that's a wonderful place to be.
I mean, we're talking about just ease of mind.
Yeah.
Being able to exhale.
Yeah.
Knowing you're going to be okay. So is there a process to that?
Yeah, and the process starts with understanding your exact life circumstance and what you want out of life. I talk to people from across the country and from across all socioeconomic disparity, from across all different backgrounds. I have blue collar workers, I have white collar workers, I have executives, I have county commissioners, I have folks across the spectrum. And retirement looks different to all of those people, but I have yet to meet somebody who doesn't want peace of mind in retirement. I have yet to meet somebody that wants to corral and manage a group of professionals and hope they're going to get their job done. I've yet to meet somebody at a very basic level that wants to wake up tomorrow morning and have less money than they have today. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to pay somebody a fee so that can happen. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to pay the government more in taxes than they're legally and ethically required to. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to leave their money to the government when they pass away. I've yet to meet somebody that wants to worry about their family's standard of living while the family is worried about their standard of care. So our RetireSHIELD was built to handle secure income, investment management, advanced tax planning, healthcare planning, legacy and estate planning, to systematically address all these things so that all those worries that I just listed off, you get from one spot. And that you've got a trusted ally that's going to provide it to you, and that we're not guessing about it. We know what the outcome's going to be, which then gives you confidence and allows you to live your life the way that you'd like to pursue your life.
So we talk about RetireSHIELD, obviously, on this program. You created this.
Yeah.
This is yours.
Yeah.
And you are telling pre-retirees and retirees that this is that surety, that that feel good when it comes to retirement. Yeah.
Well, again, the other thing that I want to make crystal clear too is this didn't just come out of my brain. I'm the person who organized it, right? And that was another problem in our industry. Nobody had organized this. So, and it's a lot to manage, right? As an individual human being, you've got to hire 4 or 5 different professionals to get all this done typically. So we wanted to organize it for people so that it could be systematically addressed. But the concepts aren't new. The concepts are based on academia. So all I did was I drowned myself in books to ensure that I would understand how to protect my own family after my mom lost almost everything she had in a blink of an eye during the global financial crisis after my dad passed away. And then when I realized how fundamentally flawed our financial services industry was, it upset me. And then I said, okay, I'm going to build this process to make sure that that doesn't happen to anybody else ever again. And the reason I'm still here doing it is because every morning when I wake up, it is my mission to provide that certainty to other human beings. And I'll tell you what, a lot of people get to this stage in their life where they realize that the secret to living is giving and fulfillment in your work. And I feel an immense amount of fulfillment every day delivering results for people.
Well, it's such an important time for everyone. We're all headed towards retirement. Having that plan and being confident in that plan as you move to that point in your life where that paycheck stops.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to be ready for retirement. Well, folks, we're about to take a quick break. But if you want your own personalized RetireSHIELD plan or a free copy of Casey's latest book, Baby Boomer Retirement Bootcamp, make sure to call the number that is on your screen right now. Again, call the number. You can grab a book that way, and you can also secure an appointment. But again, folks, this is about talking to the representative. You can also visit the website, RetireSHIELD.tv, and you can set up your appointment there as well. Again, it's about peace of mind. It's about that ease as you move towards retirement, knowing you have a plan and you're confident in that plan, and you're working with a fiduciary that has your back.
Well, and the other thing to say really quickly here is if you feel like you have your investment portfolio set up and you've got an advisor, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have that plan. And if any part of you is feeling uncertain about that, and you know it if you're feeling that way, if any part of you is feeling uncertain about it, the pain that you can experience from not fixing the issue is significantly greater than the pain of sitting down with another human being that truly cares to help. And I've never had somebody come into my office and say, wow, that was a bad idea. I didn't learn information that I didn't know already. So this is a very important thing to do.
All right, grab something right now by going to RetireSHIELD.tv.
Memories with Grandpa.
My first job.
My fourth job.
Crazy road trips.
Our first date.
Meeting our son.
Exploring our world.
Our world. Family and friends.
Our
special song.
Secure your retirement by meeting with your local, independent, and fiduciary advisor at Crown Haven. Take advantage of your complimentary relationship visit by calling Casey Marx and the team at Crown Haven today.
Hello, and welcome back to RetireSHIELD TV. I'm consumer advocate Morgan Patrick, and as always, I am joined by the founder and CEO of Crown Haven Wealth Advisors and creator of RetireSHIELD Process, Casey Marx. Casey is a retirement income certified professional as well as a certified financial fiduciary. So Casey, before our break, we were discussing how many financial experts, and I use the air quotes out there, that are really just kind of guessing how the market's going to perform. And I know this is an eye-opening for a lot of people that are out there, for our viewers. Now, as the money that they have, and it's kind of a guessing game with what's going to go on with their retirement and their savings, and they have been building this for decades. But for those with a RetireSHIELD and this plan, there is no guessing game. You have your client's money secured from market volatility.
Yeah, and again, this is just the foundational concept and the philosophy that we use at our firm. It is to ensure that we can look our clients in the eye and go, you are going to have certainty of outcome. And that's why we do what we do at our firm.
I tell you, folks, there's a lot that's out there that's going to impact retirement, and some of it is knee-jerk.
Yeah.
So let's start with what we've just been bombarded with over the last 3, 4, 5 years, and that's fake news. Fake news. It's fake.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, and with the advent of technology, and this is something that has been happening for the last 20 years, quite frankly, with technology, how it has been progressing. We do not have the capability to take all of the information in, and deal with it as human beings, and we are being inundated. And then when you get to a certain age, you continue to get inundated with that information, and it can be very difficult to determine what is truth and what is fiction. And one of the greatest examples of fake news, when it relates back to your financial planning, is that you must maintain a position in the world's largest casino in order to create a result for your retirement savings, and that's just simply not the case. There are a lot of financial prognosticators out there that have a vested interest in keeping you in the system. If you really think about how our media landscape is set up, who's paying the salary in an indirect way for the folks that work at the major networks? It's the advertisers. So if you open up CNBC, or you go on Fox Business or any of those news channels, it's going to be, here's what's happening in the markets. We're going to inform you. This is what's going on in the markets, and this is going to be real news. It's going to be truthful. But then it's going to be cut to commercial break. Here's the people that are going to help you with the chaos. And quite frankly, that's built on a thought process of assets under management, trading, actively trading. And those types of concepts just are not retirement planning, based in retirement planning academia. When you are 70 years old, you shouldn't be trading options. You shouldn't be doing some of these things. And the idea that some retail professional is going to be able to do that on your behalf to ensure that you're going to have an outcome that you can rely on is fake news also. The way to create an outcome is to use tools that are explicitly designed to create that outcome, right? So that's what we mean when we're talking about fake news. It's a lot of our world is marketing, and people deserve the truth. They deserve to understand what options are available, and that's why we lead with data at our firm. We use the data to help people inform their decision-making process.
And that was going to be the next direction I was going to go. How do you kind of cut through all the propaganda that's out there? I mean, there's a lot of it.
Well, you show people the truth. You show people the actual data and how it applies back to your life. So I want you to imagine, like, think of your portfolio right now. And first of all, do you know all of the different funds you're invested in? Do you know all of the stocks that you're invested in? So let's say you do know that. Do you know the maximum possible drawdown that could occur for each of those individual investments? Do you know the costs associated with each of those individual investments? Do you know how those investments correlate with each other? And if this investment goes down, this investment also goes down? Do you know the maximum possible loss that could occur across that portfolio? Do you know how the 105-year average of inflation is going to impact your ability to take withdrawals? Have you looked at your taxation and what that's going to look like in retirement and how that might impact the longevity of your funds? Have you looked at the rising costs of healthcare and how that might be able to be helped? So it's data. What we literally do is we build out a retirement income map and we show people, we lift up the curtain, we show them under the hood. We say, okay, this fund has an expense ratio of X, Y, and Z. This is the fee you're paying for this, this, and this. This is the possible drawdown. Also, here's your upside potential. So this could be your growth, but this could be your loss. This is the fee you're paying for that. Here's how it all relates back. With this total portfolio, this is how well it will work to create income, right? With 105-year average inflation built into it, with taxation built into it. Will it work? It's not my opinion, it's fact. Will it work? And for my clients, I want it to work. I want it to be 100% certainty that it's going to work. Because guess why? If it doesn't work and I'm a retirement planner and I'm not just an investment manager, I don't have a business model anymore. It needs to work. In a lot of ways, my vested interest is in complete alignment with my clients. I've got just as much at risk as my clients do. You've got a lot at risk because it needs to work for you. I've got a lot at risk because what I'm saying is I can solve it. The investment managers don't have that same amount of risk. All they're saying is we're going to put your money in this casino and, here's our past performance. And hopefully we can do the same thing in the future.
So let's talk about how RetireSHIELD can solve the issue for everybody.
Well, it starts with a relationship visit where we understand what you're trying to accomplish. Once we know what you're trying to accomplish, then we do the diagnostic I just described. Once we do the diagnostic, we determine if the portfolio is in alignment with what you're trying to accomplish and if there are threats that exist. Once we determine the threats that exist, because there are always threats that exist, spoiler alert, we show you how to fix it. When we show you how to fix it, we show you data. We don't hide anything from folks. We show you everything. With that information, you're able to make a very educated decision on whether or not you want to remain where you're at or you want to take action to improve your situation. Then we deliver a plan. Once we've delivered that plan and we've put it into place, we can breathe easy. We know you're going to be okay. So then we can focus on other things like how do we minimize your taxes? How do we make sure your health care won't be a problem? How do we make sure if you pass away, your wife or your husband are taken care of? Your kids are okay, etc.
With that, we are about to take another quick break. Very important to make sure that your plan is customized to you. But before we do this break, I wanted to remind you that you can join thousands of Hoosiers that have already shielded their retirement with a personalized RetireSHIELD plan. Our lines are always open, so call the number that is on your screen right now to talk with one of our representatives, or you can also visit our website, RetireSHIELD.tv, for your own personalized RetireSHIELD plan, or you can grab a free copy of Casey's latest book, Baby Boomer Retirement Boot Camp.
Do you know what that sound is? It's me traveling the world. Europe to Asia. I'm vacationing and living the retirement of my dreams because I just met with my advisor at Crown Haven. They helped me turn my nest egg into a golden egg. Take advantage of your complimentary relationship visit by calling Casey Marx and the team at Crown Haven today.
welcome back to RetireSHIELD TV. I'm consumer advocate Morgan Patrick, and as always, I am joined by the founder and CEO of Crown Haven Wealth Advisors and creator of RetireSHIELD Process, Casey Marx. Now, Casey is a retirement income certified professional as well as a certified financial fiduciary. And before our break, Casey, you were highlighting how numerous financial experts out there are just guessing about market performance. And this can be unsettling for many of our viewers as they have put their retirement savings into these guesses for years. I mean, this is a big concern. Nevertheless, for those with a RetireSHIELD plan, there is no guesswork. There's no guesswork involved. You have protected their money from market volatility.
And that's really the best feeling that you can have as an advisor, is to ensure the outcome. And I'll tell you, when there are issues that arise in the marketplace, whether or not that's monetary, geopolitical, macroeconomic, you name it, and folks call us up, most of the time they're calling us up to thank us. Other times, if they're concerned about what's going on in the world, we have the certainty of being able to say, hey, you're fine. We show them exactly what's going on, and they know they're okay. It is a wonderful position to be in, and that's why we designed our planning process the way we designed our planning process.
All right, now it's time for some viewer questions. We love this part of it, so thank you for watching RetireSHIELD TV. Now, if you want to submit your own questions, remember you can do that here for the show just by going to RetireSHIELD.tv, filling out that TV question form. We'll use it on a future program. So Deborah is in Westfield. Here's the question. I've had several meetings with different investment advisors to build a plan for my retirement. It seems that they only show me historical illustrations to provide, I guess, that assumptive rate of return for my portfolio. I mean, how well can I trust this?
Well, that's a fantastic question, Deborah. This is very common in our industry. Most, if not all, advisors out there are going to show you what amounts to be their best guess at a future outcome. And this is called the appeal to probability. This is what we do not want to be doing, because if something is possible, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's probable. And what's even worse is folks will be shown an illustration. They'll say, okay, I'm supposed to be getting 6%, I'm supposed to be getting 8%, I'm supposed to be getting 12%, and then the inverse happens. They lose 12%, they lose 15%, and that is absolutely the worst case scenario. So to be honest with you, you can't trust the assumptions that are being shown to you by most of these advisors. They're going to show you the rosiest picture they can possibly show you, because why? They want your business. So what we show folks is the raw data. We show you exactly what the portfolio is capable of doing from both sides. And the reason we build out the plan the way we build it out with our three-bucket approach, banks, insurers, and then the market if we have the risk capacity for it, is because we want to guarantee certainty of outcome for your retirement plan. What that means is that we're going to use tools that put a floor underneath your investments so that you can't lose money. And worst case scenario, we're going up, maybe at a little bit slower pace than hitting a home run, but you're hitting singles, doubles consistently, which is what most people need in retirement.
I mean, that can be a very successful baseball career. It can be a very successful retirement if you're getting those singles, doubles,
absolutely,
and occasional triples, and maybe a home run every now and then. All right, next question. Barbara in Fishers. My current advisor is a few years older than me, and as I am approaching retirement, I'm concerned that he may not be working for much longer either. How would you recommend that I approach this scenario?
It's another great question. Barbara, I want to thank you for submitting that. It's going to hopefully help a lot of our other viewers out there too. Financial advice industry, if you kind of look back at history, Schwab was founded in 1986. So a lot of these folks that are in the advisory space that got started around that time, they're 60, they're 65, they're 70. Some of them are 75 or 80. And they've been doing things, and this also goes to their philosophy too. They've been doing things a certain way for a long time, and they haven't really ever had their assumptions challenged. So not only is their philosophy not necessarily the right philosophy for most folks, but now they're approaching retirement at the exact same time you're approaching retirement. What I would recommend is that at the very least, you ensure that they have a succession plan that can ensure continuity for you. But then what I would do, and this is just for any human being out there, I would make sure that whatever they have developed for you is in complete alignment with what your retirement plans are. And usually, most advisors haven't developed a retirement plan. They'll try to talk around that. They'll say, hey, these are the investments you're in, and we think you might be able to create X amount of income or whatever. That's why we don't talk around that. That's why we give you a retirement map with everything clearly stated so you know exactly what is going to happen. And if you want that too, reach out to us. I'll sit down with you. We'll go over all of your objectives, and then we'll blaze a path for you to get exactly where you want to be.
I mean, that's a great question, because I don't think a lot of people think about that. If they're working with someone that's possibly approaching retirement too,
right?
How do you handle that transition?
Well, and the last thing you want is to be an orphan account, and that's something that we hear about a lot in this industry, where the advisor will just move on, and you can see that happen too with a lot of these big box firms. Advisors will go from place to place, right?
I tell you, very concerning. All right, final question. Here it is. Charles in Indianapolis. My portfolio recently saw a large drawdown this past year, and when I called my advisor for a solution, he advised that I just kind of ride things out, and that answer didn't make me feel any better, and I'm wondering, what other options I have.
You have a lot of other options. I'm just going to be brutally honest here. If you want to ride the market, buy an index fund, because most advisors out there charging a fee for you to do that shouldn't be earning a fee from you. That is not why they're there. If you're paying somebody a fee to do something for you, then they should be delivering something of value, not so that you can call them up with concern over all of the time and energy that you've spent to amass the portfolio that you have, for them to then tell you the same thing that you would tell somebody that sits down at a casino table and just say, hey, you're going to ride this out. That's a term used in gambling. This always happens with passive investing. We see this a lot, and this is the response of somebody who's not building a plan and has no answer for you. That's the only thing they can say. What we like to do is get ahead of this for our clients, make sure that there's a plan in place so that not only you don't have to ride it out, but that when the market drops, you're not stressed out about it in the first place.
Well, I tell you folks, we are out of time, the time we've allotted for today. We're going to be back next week, but if you are looking for peace of mind in your retirement, don't wait. Remember, our lines are open 24/7, so call the number that's on your screen, or you can visit the website RetireSHIELD.tv for your free copy of Casey's book, Baby Boomer Retirement Bootcamp, or to have a personalized RetireSHIELD plan created for you by Casey and his team of financial advisors.